we got a freaking dinosaur here. A Kentucky dinosaur. Oh, and a haunted hotel. This place is pretty cool. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today, my adventures bring me to Cave City, Kentucky. In case you didn't know by that amazing dinosaur in that haunted hotel, we're in Cave City, Kentucky. We're here at Mammoth Cave National Park. And we're going to be doing a little bit of an exploring on the history of Floyd Collins, the greatest cave explorer of all time, who sadly got trapped in Sand Cave and tragically passed away from exposure in that cave. This is something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, ever since I saw the internet historians. Oh, there's a little dog walking outside. I don't know if you can see him. You know, a little dog. But anyway, I don't have my stick with me, sorry. But yeah, so we're going to be exploring this trail. We're going to be exploring several areas before apparently a storm's supposed to show up. But yeah, Internet Historian's video was the first time I ever heard about the name Floyd Collins. Then I've bought the book Trapped, which gave me a lot more insight into Floyd Collins' past, especially what the inside of the cave looked like. I recommend to anyone that is interested in not only Floyd Collins, but also just the history of Cave City or the Kentucky Cave Wars. I recommend that you get that book. That book is phenomenal. I'm almost done with it, but the details that the author goes through is absolutely amazing. I'll leave a link to the re-uploaded Internet Historian video because the original one sadly got taken down. But I also want to give credit to another video, which I'll also have in the link down below, where he corrects a lot of Internet Historians' mistakes and or just adds more detail to the overall story, because a lot of people, especially me, we got the first scoop on Floyd from Internet Historian, but this guy, he comes in and gives a lot more detail, so I'll leave his thing down in the his video in the link as well. But before we go exploring, we need to get some coffee in us, which is why I got Black Rifle Espresso 300 triple shot, caramel vanilla, nothing but the best. I am not in all sponsored by Black Rifle Coffee. I am not at all. I'm just a big fan of their coffee, the best coffee in the entire world. Anyway, let's go. I don't know if you heard that, but nothing but the best. Anyway, let's go walking. I am currently walking back over to that sign. You can barely see it, but it's right there. It's talking about Sand Cave, and I saw Floyd on it, so I'm gonna go check it out. But as I was walking, I'm just thinking to myself, like, in case you don't know anything about Floyd, his story became national news all across America. This was the time where radio was very big. It was in nearly everyone's houses. So people all across America, including members of Congress and even the President Calvin Coolidge, got word about the situation down here at Cave City, Kentucky. And thousands and thousands of people came all around the country just to go see Floyd, which Sand Cave Trail's up there. Again, we're going to go up there in a second. But thousands and thousands of people came here just to gawk at the situation. And even before it became national news, thousands of people from the Cave City itself came to gawk at the situation involving Floyd. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, I'm thinking about thousands of people and thousands of cars lined up and down this road just to try and get as close to the situation as possible. It's crazy when you think about it. So this is what you would see as you're coming in to the area. But as you can see here, it's talking about Sand Cave and Floyd, buried in a narrow passage, and eventually he would pass away. But a lot of friendly locals around here. Kentucky, you know how to do things. But we're gonna be now going on to the trail. Sorry again if my hand and my camera angles are not that great. Normally I have my stick with me to help me with that, but don't have it now. Anyway, we're on the road again, and we're about to walk onto the Sand Cave Trail and get as close as we can to the cave. Obviously you can't go inside the cave, and in fact the author of the book, and I'll link as much information as I can in the description, but the author of the book Trapped, he and a few other individuals had the privilege to be the first and most likely last people to enter Sand Cave since the tragedy of Floyd. Now, he describes Sand Cave as a major death trap. Like, the angles are very tight. The ways that you have to maneuver through that cave is awful. And I mean, he goes into a lot of detail about it. Again, I'll put the interview down below, but I'm going to take his word for it, and I'm not even going to attempt to try and find a secret passage into that cave. Nor would I most likely I would not be able to fit inside that cave, but hey, we're going to take the trail together. We're going to go pay our respects to Floyd. All right, so we're about to take the trail. Sorry, it's a pretty nice warm day here in Kentucky. Anyway, we're about to take the trail. There's like 2 benches, but there's an overlook obviously over the cave. And the whole time that I'm going to be taking this trail, again, I'm going to be thinking about not only Floyd having to come out to this cave. Sorry if you guys can barely hear me because of the wind. By the way, Mammoth Cave National Park is just right up the road, and arguably, if it wasn't for the death of Floyd, that place may not have been a complete national park. It's because of the death of Floyd that the ideas to make it a national park became big. So Floyd did, in his death, preserve this place for generations to come, but also most likely saved a bunch of lives, because I can imagine, especially we all know YouTubers today, people trying to attempt to explore, and probably people would try to explore Sand Cave, which I'm going to take the author's word of the book Trapped and say that that place is a death trap and no one should attempt it. But we also have another one right here, and it's saying like January 30th, Floyd entered Sand Cave and became trapped. Relatives locate Floyd on January 31st. February 1st, family and friends feed and comfort Floyd while attempting to free his pinned lower body. February 2nd, an attempt to pull Floyd free with a rope and harness fails. February 3rd, an electric light bulb is strung into the cave in an attempt to keep Floyd warm. An effort to loosen the rock pinning Floyd's leg with a crowbar and jack fails. National Guardsmen arrive to assist with the crowd control. February 4th, a parallel collapse of the cave passage cuts off all physical contact with Floyd. And that's when we have days of people digging down to Floyd to try and get to him. And then, of course, when they finally reach Floyd, he's dead. He died from exposure because of the thousands and thousands of people gawking at the scene, which we're going to be going to. Because of the thousands of people gawking at the scene, it destroyed the cave's natural walls, and it collapsed. Again, I recommend that you guys, if you've never heard the stories about Floyd, definitely read it in the book Trapped. There's musicals about Floyd. There's a lot of stuff about Floyd, but we're going to continue on this trail here. So come join me.
Oh, come on, you you young people and listen while I tell the fate of Floyd Collins, the lad we all knew well. His face was fair and handsome, his heart was true and brave. His body now lies sleeping in a lonely sandstone cave. How sad the story, it fills our eyes with tears. The memory too will linger for many, many years. Broken-hearted father who tried his boy to save. Well, now we feel the sorrow at the door of Floyd's cave.
We're getting closer to the cave, but yeah, I can honestly see like people back then gathering around here and them gawking at the situation. But yeah, look at it. Or at least down there, probably. I can see that. And it looks like we made it to the cave itself. Oh, wow. This is crazy. And what's even crazier is if you look at pictures of the cave, you obviously see this big tree. And now the tree is clearly capsized, or it clearly fell. Yeah. It's crazy. But, oh my gosh, this is cool. So, here we go. Yeah, I'm just, again, like, I believe in the Internet Historian video, that is where Homer's camp was set up. Because he set up his camp right outside the cave. So right there would be where Homer, Floyd's brother, was set up his camp. Right next to this tree. I actually find this fascinating, like coming around and you see the stream. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming right down here and it's coming into the cave. Again, I'm going to be very careful in this situation, but yeah, coming right down into the cave. Gotta be careful with these steps. Pretty muddy steps. I still am just thinking about a bunch of people here to try and get into the cave where Floyd was trapped. I'm thinking about all this area filled with people. And this place is relatively a smallish town today. So it's like, yeah, imagine it being back then. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So again, this tree and this spot must have been where Homer set up his camp right outside the cave, minus the tree that collapsed right here. I'm just thinking about, like, you know, I'm squatting right now, but this is where Homer would have set himself up. Right up there is where the podium, like the visitors section would be. But I'm just thinking about Homer just sitting right here, like, yeah. Wanted to go save his brother. Let's get a little bit closer. So right where this water is coming down must have been where the rescuers were digging they're digging straight down, because when the cave collapsed, they needed to find another way to get to Floyd. So they started digging straight down. So this, where the water is hitting, must have been where the spot was that they just kept digging and digging to get down. It's crazy. This cave, man. There's some people standing up on the balcony, probably waiting to see what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this cave is freezing. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm looking at it from this angle. So they were digging, yeah, down this hole was where they were digging to try and get to Floyd. So I'm assuming his coat, Floyd's coat, was probably hanging right here, which means the grate, because I don't see anything, but the entrance to the cave is right over there. Sorry, finger point, right there. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get like a good visual on the phone, but we certainly can try. Yeah, to get down there. Someone left their trash there. Jeez. So that's the entrance to Sand Cave, this deadly cave that Floyd was trapped in. But this is a lot of cool air being blown in here, but dude, I was squatting in there for like a few seconds, and I don't know how Floyd was able to do it while going deep into the earth. His brother, so many other heroes that tried to save him. People that dug this hole to try and get down to him as soon as possible. Oh, I didn't even notice this. That rock right there, it has 1970 on it. I'll flip the camera over in a second and show you. It's either 1970 or 1990, you tell me. But this was the last major attempt to try and get to Floyd, was this spot right here. There are people right above me trying to get to me.
Oh, mother, don't you worry. Dear father, don't be sad. I'll tell you all my story in an awful dream I had. I dreamed I was a prisoner, my life I could not save. I cried, oh, must I perish within this silent cave?
The rescue party labored, they worked both night and day to move the mighty barrier that stood with.
So yeah, as of right now, and probably for the rest of most of our lives, that cave will be closed forever, and no one will be allowed to go in there. The last person was the author of the book, Trapped. Highly recommend it again. But I honestly can't imagine, like, even going down there. Like, I was comfortable enough getting close to that, closed off area. That was good enough for me. The way I had to squat to get in there, and I mean, I've heard stories and I've read stories about the inside of that cave. I would not feel comfortable at all. I doubt even some of the best cave explorers on YouTube will go into that cave. But, and cave explorers, please don't prove me wrong. Please don't go down there. First of all, you'll probably get arrested, number one. Number two, I don't want anyone to get, like, you know, trapped down there. But this place, though, like, very, very beautiful area. But Floyd, he's recognized as probably the greatest cave explorer of all time. And, you know, for someone that was bold enough to keep doing this all by himself, you know, I can't disagree. Even though it goes against every law of cave exploring to go caving by yourself, not telling people where you are, yada, yada, yada. He still is, like, the greatest cave explorer of all time. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, that is the video. We got as close as we could to the cave. I'm gonna head up to the cemetery, pay my respects to Floyd. But thank you so much for watching the video. Please leave a like on the video, comment down below what did you think of the video, and say something nice about Floyd. Get some good comments towards Floyd. But outside of that, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day.
To rescue Floyd Collins was their battle cry. We'll never know, we'll never let Floyd Collins die.
But on that fatal morning, the sun rose in the sky. The workers still were busy with saving by and by. But oh, how sad the ending. His life could not be saved. His body then was sleeping in a lonely sandstone cave.
Young people, oh, take a warning from Floyd Collins' fate, and get right with your maker before it is too late. It may not be a sin cave in which we find our tomb, but at the bar of judgment we too must meet our doom.